Welcome to Marley's Music Mondays, where we talk culture, music, and the conversations behind the headlines. Now let's get into it. Now, first up, it's kind of like part two, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like a continuation of last week we was talking about how like 50 and T.I., kind of was going at it, and it included the whole Harris family into the thing now. And yeah, so now 50 has responded, in rare 50 fashion. And yeah, for the Power Origin song, he kind of threw a quick jab, at T.I. I think it was kind of uncalled for, but I mean, it's cool. It is what it is. But as far as like them sparring, like, I don't know, like 50, he liked the troll. He liked the master troll. It's like, for real. Like he calling himself the algorithm now, which is like, I'm all about the art over the algorithm. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, what y'all think about that? Like Damani, I know he done came with another diss song. Like, I ain't, keeping up with all of them, like listening. But yeah, like 50 then finally responded with some music, which is what T.I. and, mostly everybody was saying. So when you kind of think about it, you got what, you asked for. But yeah, to me, it ain't really like no disses. Like he said a couple things on the song he got featuring Max B, but to me that sound like a mixtape song, like for real. So I don't know. Yeah, but the Power song, yeah, I don't think he should have did it on the Power song, cause that, yeah, featuring Leon Thomas. Yeah, you gotta check that one out. But I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know how long it's gonna keep going, but at the end of the day, it's entertainment. So as long as they keep it, like I said, on wax, it is what it is. But kind of moving forward, still talking about 50. Like I was just seeing, and I don't really got like no super details on it, but I just seen that it's new leadership at Starz, So pretty much they were saying that they may be trying to shift, you know, the way that the network has been, going. And it's kind of like, you know, making 50's, what he been on with the Power Universe kind of like maybe halting it. Because, a couple of the shows is no longer around. But, yeah, I don't have no details, but I seen something about it was Byron Allen who, like, got the stake in it. But, yeah, definitely look into that, But kind of moving forward, on more inspirational news, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, the homie, Nipsey Hussle, RIP, like moving forward with this marathon vision, like the LA Marathon, they've partnered with, his foundation to like sponsor like 100 runners, you know what I'm saying, to kind of help create this center, this community center that they like working on. So yeah, I don't super have like a lot of details on it, but they really just trying to push all the stuff that, Nipsey was on as far as like ownership, economic empowerment, what I'm saying, entrepreneurship, and investing in your own community. And they still expanding, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, Nip always talked about playing it for the long game as far as like on some all money in. So when you kind of think about it, it's like, yeah, you definitely need to run this marathon, like real talk. So salute to all of them. Saying that to say, like, I really try to press these types of things, in Chicago, because we do have like a Chicago marathon and all types of various, forms of, like fundraising and charitable, endeavors that we could like engage in. So definitely reach out as far as like to any, organization that's trying to like help the communities that y'all living in. So real talk. But kind of moving on, like CyHi just came back with, you know, I wouldn't really call it like a diss song, but I don't know. He came back with a song. It's called Good Old Days. I would say check it out. It's actually pretty dope. It's kind of a song like based like an interview. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of got like him saying a bunch of stuff and got the lady asking questions. You know, so it's pretty dope. You know, like I would say check it out. CyHi was always dope to me. You know what I'm saying? Like super dope. Like for real. Like I met him one time at an event. You know what I'm saying? Like so salute to CyHi, but definitely check out CyHi with his song called Good Old Days, you know what I'm saying? Kind of going in about the good old days at good music, you know? Like, I don't know if you all, like, really rocked with him or even know who he is, but he's definitely one of the people behind, like, a lot of the hits from good music, you know what I'm saying? Like, on the Kid Cudi, like, the Travis Scott, like, like, just look him up, Like, you can find out some stuff. And, yeah, kind of like moving to like the next one, like SZA. Like she's basically kind of growing, you know, like she's basically kind of at war with like AI generated music. You know what I'm saying? Which is understandable, but it's basically like it's kind of the Wild West right now because, like I said, the ownership stuff is kind of sketchy, and and just kind of dealing with the fact of everything being like AI generated. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, man. Like I definitely feel SZA with that. Like I don't know what y'all take is on that, but like I definitely love, appreciate, and enjoy, like real music. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, I'm definitely at war with it, like crazy, because, yeah, I ain't going. But just kind of thinking about the technology and the advancements, it's cool, but like I said, the artificial intelligence is kind of becoming overwhelming, especially like with their advancements. Because like I said, they could like take my voice and, turn, you into me or me into you. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool, but you need to like copyright your voice, like, because at the end of the day, like, they could replicate your voice and like, make money off of it. And that's, yeah, like I need a licensing agreement, or something, because like that kind of deal with the ownership, the integrity of like everything we doing, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, what's y'all take? How do y'all feel? Like most people, kind of don't really care, like most consumers, but like I said, most artists and actual people who are like engaged, and creating, it's like a whole nother thing. So, yeah. So, kind of like moving forward. So like today, it's March 9th, you know what I'm saying? So, you see the shirt, you know what I'm saying? Definitely the nigga B.I., you know what I'm saying? Think it's the 29 year anniversary of his passing. So yeah, just kind of moving on, like thinking about a couple like losses that we had in the entertainment industry. Like some people may not know, but it is a definite like loss in hip hop. On the engineering side, Mr. Bob Power, like I said, he was known for like, yeah, doing like a lot of the Tribe Called Quest stuff. Like I actually, I won't say I met him, you know what I'm saying, but I definitely seen him a couple times, at like Mixed with the Masters and at, like AES and at the NAMM show, you know what I'm saying? But he did like a lot of the Tribe Called Quest, the D'Angelo, like Erykah Badu, like, you know, like the Roots, like the list just goes on and on, you know. So it's just like, yeah. So like to kind of catch him, you know, like it would be pretty dope. So yeah, he passed away a couple days ago. So yeah, he'll definitely be missed. And yeah, I think I think it said on the 25th. I didn't know him, but one of my guys know him, and I know some of his work. A guy named Severe Garcia. You know, he's from Chicago. He's a part of the crew. I think it's his crew, but they're called Family Biz Entertainment. They did a lot of work for Fred the Godson, RIP to him as well, but that's where I actually, you know, heard their work from. But yeah, I seen Arsonist from the Heatmakers had posted it, you know, and when I seen it, I'm like, wow. But yeah, and then, you know, I guess for the little YNs, you know, I still don't know who Lil Shorty is, you know, but RIP to him, Lil Poppa, you know, I think he was like G.O.O.D's artist or something like that. Don't quote me, you know what I'm saying? But definitely a lot of his fans are kind of, you know, and his collaborators, they like feeling the pain. So definitely RIP to him as well. But kind of moving forward, you know, kind of talking about like some media, on the media tip. I don't know if y'all know who like Tasha K is. Like, I know she was beefing with Corey Holcomb, but yeah, like she basically got she basically Cardi B has a judgment against her for $3.5 million, and pretty much like she then went to GoFundMe, and she basically is trying to get you know what I'm saying, people to like support this, you know, and help her like pay it down, which is kind of insane, but it's crazy that people is gonna probably help her with some of it, you know? So it's just like, I don't know. When I kind of look at that, it be like kind of insane that, you know, like it's, you know, issues that's in the community and different like organizations and various people trying to like make change, you know, and, you know, people like Tasha K, who is just like, you know, a media personality, you know, like she's, and, you know, I don't even know how Cardi B got the judgment against her, but I know it's not for something good. You know, it's you know what I'm saying? So, oh no, man. But just kind of moving forward, you know, like Dr. Dre, who's pretty much one of the he kind of like one of my, you know, he's one of my favorite producers. I ain't gonna lie, like still. But like he's joined forces with some more like legendary producers, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis for a global hunger relief anthem. You know, this is kind of dope. You know, as far as like it being like a modern day thing. You know, which is something that I've kind of proposed to, you know, like my you know, intermediate circle, as well as, you know, various other people. But like just thinking about, you know, like I guess global hunger, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, like it's cool. Like I ain't gonna really like, you know, knock it. But I still, like I say, think about the issues that, you know, plague our community, you know, especially like say somebody like a Dr. Dre who like rap about all this stuff, like on some, you know, he in Compton and all this and that. You know, and not saying he hasn't contributed, but I'm just saying like when I think about when they did like We All in the Same Gang back in the days, you know, like go do your research, and like all of these various artists kind of got on, you know, this record, you know, for this cause. This is like really what I'm trying to do. So like any artist who's seeing this, you know, like, yeah, reach out to Railroad Tracks Music, you know, or KG Capone, you know. We working trying to build something, you know, for Railroad Tracks Music Academy. Look, you know, look it up, do your research. But yeah, we trying to make an anthem to, you know, like, you know, combat the stuff that's going on in these communities, you know. And yeah, kind of moving forward with like, you know, to close, like Lil Baby recently brought a bunch of property, you know, in his old neighborhood, and he's kind of like doing some of the same similar things that I'm talking about, you know. So it's like at the end of the day, like we really are trying to like rebuild and create opportunities, invest in, you know, our communities and these people. So yeah, I'm just saying. So check that out. Like Lil Baby, definitely salute. You know what I'm saying? Trying to help out in the community, and like I said, this is Marley's Music Mondayz, and yeah, we'll be back. Same time, probably the same place. You know what I'm saying? Next week. Holla. Peace.